Greetings from the Erie Coast. This is Matt Shad. Another Zoot Report. Yeah. Let's get into this, shall we? Yes indeed, it's fun time. Summertime, fun time, right? You know, summer, winter, spring and fall. I think for the most part, everybody loves spring and fall. It's that transitionary period, right? It's cooler. The temperatures are nice. Yeah, depending on where you're at, you know, spring around here is wet season. It's the fucking monsoon season. And then it just gets baking hot when summer comes around. A lot of places are like that. Maybe there's more temperate areas of, you know, zones in the world, but, you know, for the most part, what I've experienced here, you know, it just gets baking hot. Springtime doesn't seem to leave. Ohio has some very manic, depressive kind of weather. You know, you can have all 4 seasons in one day, but when it officially gets summer, then, you know, it just becomes stifling hot, high humidity, rain, you know, from time to time. So, you know, taking climate considerations, you know, for your season, it's hot. Now's the time to drink water. I mean, or any kind of water-based product. Yeah, it's nice to have a beer in the heat, you know, cool beer, nice cold beer when it's hot, but it's not doing much for you. You know, tea, coffee, things like that. They're good. They're nice, especially in the morning, but they're also a diuretic. You know, we heard it so many times. It got shoved down our throats, literally. Drink water, drink water, drink water. But with that comes having to relieve yourself and finding a place to relieve yourself, and, you know, potentially holding it, doing damage to your kidneys and your bladder. And if anybody's ever held their pee for a long time, no, it really sucks. Talk about anxiety. Damn. So there's that mental part of it too. So, you know, taking considerations, if you're working out, maybe you want to work out early in the morning or at the close of day. Now, you know, everybody's like, well, you know, it's hot during the day, or it's you know, can't do much. Fuck, drive, bro. Damn, got shit to do. You know, end of day, everybody's like, well, I'm fucking super tired, and, you know, I've got like, you know, I've been working 10 to 12 hours a day. Now I got 2 hours to take a shower, get ready for the next day, eat, relax. You know, it's funny how we relax. You have to relax. You gotta wind down from the day, right? And all this time that you're sitting there, you know, or doing these tasks, drink water, right? Drinking water for the next day is something you have to do. It is. You got to rehydrate yourself. You've been dehydrated all damn day, and now you have a chance to chill. It's time to sit and drink water. Really. I mean, me, I take supplements in the beginning of the day. That requires water. right? And then throughout the course of the day, I run, try to drink some water, try to, whatever. I do have a coffee I have to finish in the morning, so that keeps me going in the morning. But by the time the coffee's over, I'm switching over to teas, to waters, eventually straight water, right? Because it's hot and it keeps me going. It keeps me from passing out. It keeps me from, having a heat stroke, shit like that. But I can't drink enough water because I'm doing stuff and my focus is on the task at hand. And I gotta find places to pee. I gotta schedule a fucking head call sometimes. It's like, the next 2 stops I can take a piss. Then you forget. So the dangers of holding your pee is that it gets reconstituted. Yeah, it gets reabsorbed. Your body reabsorbs it. So all those toxins and impurities, all those things that are dangerous, that your body is like, we gotta get rid of this. We gotta take out the trash. Your body needs to do that. But when you sit there and hold your pee forever, it eventually absorbs back into your body. And your body has to work double time to get rid of it, or it hides it away. It stuffs it into a freaking fat cell somewhere, or behind your muscles or some shit, and it just causes problems for you later. So be very adamant that you have to pee. All right. There's nothing more important in life. That means you got to hold your pee, especially in this modern day society. Now I have had to hold my pee for certain situations, where you're dealing with something. It just happens, right? You're like, oh well, fuck, I got this very pressing matter I have to deal with, and after it's over, I got to go pee. Okay, all right, whatever. Yeah, got it. And there's another thing I do, and thank you, Marine Corps. But I look at the color of my pee, right? I look at the color. Yes, you got to look at the color. I look at it and I judge, and I judge it. I go, is this slight? Is this moderate? Or is this extreme dehydration? Slight, moderate, severe. Slight dehydration, just a slight hint of color. Moderate, there's a moderate amount of color, and severe, it's like almost opaque yellow or green, whatever you're drinking. I don't know what you folks drink nowadays. Pissing green, pissing methylene blue. That can be shocking. I've done some methylene blue, but you gotta judge it, and you've got to adjust accordingly, right? If you get to that moderate dehydration stage, you gotta drink some water. Like, okay, I gotta drink some water, and you keep drinking water and drink water, and go take a piss, and then you say, oh, okay, total hydration has been achieved. I'm pissing clear. Perfect. And then you go about the course of, now you're good. You might have to piss again because you're hydrated. But that's the most optimum that your body is at with hydration, and it works. You work better. You feel better. Your muscles are hydrated. Your muscles are oxygenated. Your blood flows better. You think better. Everything is a lot better for you when you're totally hydrated. Just the way it is. Wow. That's great. your workers on their bikes heading to work. So enough about pee. Another thing to consider is your clothing, right? Everybody changes wardrobe when it gets warm. You know, we're wearing more light and airy clothes, things that breathe better because you're sweating. You're sweating and you're retaining heat. Your clothes retain heat. Some clothes actually dissipate heat. That's quite an ingenious thing. But you're not out there wearing a fucking hoodie, right? In a pair of jogging pants, unless you're trying to sweat and lose weight. I don't know. Trying to make the weight here, coach. Yep. So you got the trash bags on. You're working out. That's crazy. But for me, it's thin shirts, sometimes with no sleeves, and a pair of shorts and flip-flops. Let's go, right? Whatever you need to do, let's go. I got flip-flops. I got the shorts, and I can put everything on my shorts as I do my pants. My EDC, if you will. So EDC considerations, if you're carrying and everything, and during the wintertime, I go outside the waist, outside the belt, and throw a hoodie on. It's gone. It's disappeared. Summertime, it's a little bit more challenging. I got to put it inside the waist. I got to wear a shirt that doesn't print, yet is not heavy enough that I'm sweating my ass off. But let's go. Let's go. Light is green. Move it. Move it, move it, move it, move it, move it. What was I saying? So yeah, EDCs, I can still have the basic EDC. I just have to tailor it a little differently. I have seen where people start to do a minimalist thing. I've done that from time to time. I'll just bring the bring the bare minimum. A pistol with no extra mag, that kind of shit. A knife, and it's very very minimalist because I ain't got a lot of room to work with. I don't have a lot of real estate because I'm wearing a lot less clothes. So I mean, there's things out there, the Vanish holster, the latex, maybe you do appendix carry, for the best possible concealment. Maybe you go, behind maybe you do the tramp stamp carry. I consider that the deep cover kind of thing, if you will. It's in the small of my back, and it's real easy for me to get a shirt that covers that area rather well. It's harder to get to, but I really hate appendix carry. I'll do it from time to time, but I also have a belt that I can adjust on the fly, literally. Right, so I can, when I'm setting down, this thing is like pinching in and imprinting on my skin. I can just kind of hit that button on my belt, release some of that tension, and I'm sitting comfortably. And then when I get up, I cinch my belt, hold my pants up, with all my EDC. When you're in full kit, running around in the summertime, running around when it's hot, you don't want to do anything. You just want to. you're sitting there baking, and there's times when you might have to run and run and do stuff, even work. If it's work and it's a low security thing, I'm taking off the plate carrier. I mean, it's just, there you go, it's off. If you're doing recce, chances are you're not wearing full kit. You're wearing just the bare minimum to get you out of a break contact. Basically, you're breaking contact and running. You're not there for sustained battle. It'd be different if you were doing a movement to contact. Setting up an L shape. Trying to build that kill box. So yeah, you want everything. You want everything. You want all the magazines. You want all the weight, because you're just gonna be sitting there waiting, and you're gonna have all that weight, and eventually you're gonna dump all that weight, through consumption, right? SAT knowingly, through consumption, saving just a little bit enough for you to, break contact and, get to the exfil, start your exfil. That requires running and moving fast and, carrying things. Now you're a little bit lighter, but you're gonna have to drink water. You're gonna have to find a cool place to sit afterwards. If there's no air conditioning, you're gonna have to strip off all your gear, right? Watch people that are overheating, douse water on them, get them down to their skivvies, right? Let them expel that heat. And of course, once again, drink water, drink water, drink water. That's the key, name of the game. Your vehicles, there's different considerations in the heat. Your tires, right? They overinflate now. In the winter, they would deflate, and now you've got to get that pressure just right. You're at the risk of popping a hole or something. Your motor, if it doesn't have water or coolant, it's going to overheat, just like you, right? So it needs coolant, water, and things like that. It's I don't know if it consumes more gas. They do this summer blend, which I don't know what's up, why or what, if that affects. I'm sure it does affect performance of your vehicle, but your heat, the heat literally, it can also affect the internal climate, your air conditioning or lack thereof of your vehicle, right? We know that in the summertime inside a vehicle, it can get very dangerously high temperatures, extremely high, like enough to dehydrate meat. All right, to dehydrate. I forget who did it, but they literally put a fucking dehydrator in their car and it worked. Your temperatures will exceed over 170, sometimes 200 degrees. Your car turns into an oven. So I mean, there's different ways you can vent it. You can crack a window. You can put these. There's like a vent fan you can install. You can put up these reflector panels in your windows and windshield where it reflects that heat somewhat. There's also a cool little trick I learned from science. I forget the channel, where I practice thermofluid dynamics. You get in your car and it's first getting your car, it's been sitting out in the sun all damn day. It's 200 some degrees in there, so what I do is I crack a window, like on the left side, and then my driver's side, I sit there and just open the door and close it, open the door, close it, open the door, close it, open the door, and close it. And what that does is that literally forces all the hot air out. You can feel it, you know. I mean, it may look weird. Everybody's looking at you funny because you're sitting there opening and closing your door, and everybody's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Well, I'm getting rid. I'm moving the heat out of the way. So learning how that works, right? Thermofluid dynamics, right? Cool concept. Other things to consider, which is, and I had this conversation yesterday, is having preps in your vehicle. Having preps in your vehicle that could possibly go wrong, could possibly go bad because of the heats, right? Because that you've got your car, your vehicle just at 200 degrees, and you've got some freeze-dried food in there, or something like that. It's just setting and baking and losing its life, losing its shelf life. So you think it's good in there, and it's slowly but surely just going away, right? It's losing its thing, losing its longevity. I actually wanted to do something like that, and consulting my brother, he was like, well, it is hot, and heat, we know heat dissipates, heat destroys, and so a lot of things like canned goods, shit like that. If you ever took you ever left a candy bar, chocolate candy bar in your car, and you come back to it and you're like, oh fuck, this thing is, when I had it, it was solid. Now it's now it's a package full of mush, and you're like, oh fuck, it's liquefied. Yeah, that's what's going on with all your preps, all your stuff. Electronics, I mean, same thing. You read the labels, right? Do not exceed 170 degrees for X amount of time. Like, oh well, shit. Leave a cell phone in your car, it just might just bake or blow up. I've had my phone overheat. Just because it was, left it in the car. Now I turn it on and it's like, well shit, this sucks. Batteries. Thing is like super duper hot. It's like burning up. So yeah, your batteries. I do have a car charger, so I gotta watch that. Any kind of rubber hoses, things that are not galvanized, heat treated rubber. You gotta watch those things. Gotta monitor them. So climate considerations. During these times, you leave your laptop in the car and it's sitting there just baking away. And then you pull it out and you turn it on and you get all these alerts and shit where it doesn't work right. Laptops, cell phones, any type of battery that has a heat sink, or it needs to stay away from the heat. So what I've started doing is like having like a vehicle prepping bag, go bag, so that everything goes in that bag. When I need to go somewhere, all my batteries, all my chargers, different kinds of foods, right? That I don't want to store in the truck Although I'd love to store it in the truck. It's just, how do you keep your truck climate controlled all the damn time, you know? Where your stuff doesn't, you know, get damaged or spoiled. Yeah. And, you know, keeping your truck secure, right? So, keeping it hidden, out of the way, that's another thing too, right? You know, practicing offset. You know, I'm not gonna stow my rifle in the back seat, you know, so all can see it. All they have to do is just bust a window to get it. And then at that point, they don't care about the alarm, right? And it can happen so fast, boom, it's done. Even if I put a lock on it, right? But, I mean, that's neither here nor there. You know, keeping shit in your vehicle is an oven. Absolute oven. It can get hot in the wintertime. You know, much less, you know, think about the extreme heat of the summer. So yeah, I mean, I had this conversation with a brother of mine, and you know, it inspired this conversation, this thing, and so, yep, climate considerations. You know, something to take advantage of, take heed of, right? And you know, I still keep like waterproofing, you know, waterproof gear in my vehicle. You know, a tarp, a good tarp with duct tape. You know, hell, how many cars you see running around with their shit busted out and they've just got plastic over it, duct tape. There you go. That saves it a little bit. You know, it's a quick fix, but you know, having my rain gear and all that stowed away in the vehicle. Yeah, I mean, you know, that stuff too can erode with heat, right? It can erode with the heat. Yeah, your Gore-Tex and shit like that. It's pretty tough, but you know, the heat really destroys a lot of things, more so than cold, than water. Heat can be detrimental to a lot of your stuff, a lot of your gear, a lot of your food. Shit. The build-up has begun. Oh, fuck you. Well, that's why I left early. So there we go. So yeah, this has been Mad Shad with the Zoot Report. Thank you very much for listening to me, and Skull.